We have the Cleveland Cavaliers will take on the Indiana Pacers. The Cavs lead that series 2-0, while the Toronto Raptors and Milwaukee Bucks will face off as well. The series is tied 1 apiece. And last but not the least, the Spurs versus the Memphis Grizzlies. The Spurs lead that one 2-0. The coach of Memphis last time around was very critical of the referees, and he got fined £30,000. Now they return home and is expecting, you know, coaches do these things all the time.
All the time.
He's going to hope to get a reaction from those officials, because they felt they were not getting favorable calls. A lot of calls went the way of Spurs, especially Kawhi Leonard, who had more free throws than the entire Memphis team. So yeah, we'll start this one pounds out later today.
Okay, I don't know how I can bring football into this. Pep Guardiola said, when you have a chance, just take it so that you don't get to blame.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
Yeah, I know it's a bit different. I understand, but then at the end of the day, they've got their tactics and they got it right. In the sense that, you know, maybe they just wanted someone who could do it, and he did it, and he had the best of it. So when you're good at it, you wouldn't want to change for another player. So why would he complain about that?
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like we're getting a lot of superstar calls.
Because he's a superstar, so he was, being treated so well.
Exactly, because
he doesn't have one in his team, so he should go get one.
But that's not the way the game should be officiated. But it is what it is. Sometimes this referees tend to favor.
I understand, but when you're maybe you can just take it to the dressing room and let it end there, because usually when you talk and you talk on the point, you get in trouble and you get fined. And I believe all eyes will be on him in the game, because if there's any other thing, maybe suspension might just come his way, so he should learn how to talk. Now, talking about the New England Patriots, they visited the White House last night, and of course, it was a huge one for most of the players. But then we didn't have Tom Brady there. He had family issues, and so he just couldn't make it to the White House. And also the fact that one of the former players, Aaron Hernandez, he wasn't even mentioned at all. I mean, committed suicide, and that was the end of it. But then the players are really happy, visiting the White House.
Yeah, we know it's a tradition, really. I mean, they call themselves world champions, right? They win the league in the USA. And they call themselves world champions. Yeah, whenever we have world champions, it's tradition that they visit the White House, and it's nothing different this time around as well. So the New England Patriots, after winning the Super Bowl last year, visited President Trump. And Cecilia, like I said, no mention of Aaron Hernandez at all. I think you don't understand why. This is supposed to be a celebration, and perhaps mentioning him would have taken something away from it. And like I said as well, to know Tom Brady, and you can understand why. He's got personal issues he had to deal with. But let's see how that particular event went down at the White House yesterday. Get to listen to President Trump as well as Patriots head coach Bill Belichick.
This Super Bowl victory was a complete team effort. That's the beauty of what they do. They win as a team. With your backs against the wall, and the pundits, good old pundits, boy, they're wrong a lot, aren't they? Saying you couldn't do it, the game was over, you pulled off the greatest Super Bowl comeback of all time. One of the greatest comebacks of all time. But the greatest Super Bowl comeback of all time, and that was just special. I think I looked at odds, and they gave you less than 0.5% of winning the game. And then the coach said, let's go for 3. He's losing by so much. He said, let's go for 3. And I say, what is he doing? That was a great decision, Coach. I tell him that all the time. So the Patriot coaches and these great players have delivered iconic American sports moments that will last forever. We're going to watch that game over and over and over. That game will last forever. 5 Super Bowl wins in the era of free agency, which is really, really tough.
Along with the parade, the ring ceremony, as a team, the opportunity and the privilege of coming to the White House is just one of the great things about winning the Super Bowl, and so we're very privileged to be here.
Welcome back, still Channel Sport this morning. Now, Cecilia, let me just come to you quickly before we leave on this particular. You didn't really.
What?
Okay, I'm trying to put it the right way. When past champions have visited the White House,
okay.
In recent past, and that's when President Obama was the president of the USA. You think there's a bit of a difference, not as as exciting as it was under President Obama. Why did you say that?
President Obama is a narrator, so he has this way of actually getting the players involved. Behind him, I didn't see that laughter, that joy, that fun, that we enjoy and everything. The jokes and all that. So we didn't really get to see that. So this is more like a kind of a serious visit. So it wasn't really the tradition.
So that's just down basically to the fact that President Obama...
Or maybe because he didn't have the top player there. Maybe Tom Brady wasn't there and all that. And, Obama just has he's got a way with most of the players. I think maybe because he knows most of them personally and all that, or he just have this connection with them. So he got a way of, getting them really involved. In the gist. So that's really helped most times. I think maybe that's just what it's out there. But at school, it's okay. He jokes with them, telling them, they're the greatest. They had the greatest comeback of all time. So greatest comeback, Super Bowl, not of all time. He had to clarify that.
Yeah, whether it's Super Bowl, whether it's basketball, whether it's the NBA, whether it's the NHL, that was one egg of a great comeback. No one saw it coming. People actually, apart from Patriots fans,
we can say of all time, right?
Yeah.
You will be right.
One of the greatest.
One of the greatest.
Because if we start going through different sports, and I'm sure we'll find down other situations.
Okay, we didn't make reference to Barcelona.
Let's go on a break now. When we return, we'll be talking the Monte Carlo Masters. Rafael Nadal was in action yesterday.